Evening, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to June's
Hello.
team call.
Yeah, June's team call on the 1st of June.
On the 1st of June, doesn't happen often.
No, it doesn't.
Just going to mute everybody. Hope you're all well. There we go. Yeah. Hope you're all well. Almost coming to the end of lockdown. It's quite an exciting thing. Who knows what's going to happen? I hope you've all been enjoying your online sharing and all the other ways you've been sharing. And tonight we're actually going to hear some tips from people who are doing exceptionally well. But we'll come on to that later. But that would be nice to hear about how people who are enrolling lots of people, what they're doing at the moment, because it is a bit different.
Yeah, we look forward to that. So there is, and also after that, we're going to go through a few, quite quickly, just a few of our highlights from convention that we just wanted to discuss with you. Some of you might not have seen the whole of convention. Convention was great. Hope you enjoyed it, being online. Hope you got your kit.
Before it sold out. It had to be very quick.
If you didn't, a lot of the new products are coming over the next month or two, so you will be able to get them. And there is a post-convention kit coming out.
Woohoo!
Which will have lots of the other kits in it, but not sure what it exactly entails yet, which they will let us know soon. So that's exciting. So the product of the month this month is Palma Rosa, and there'll be some more stuff coming out about Palma Rosa because this is an exclusive oil to us at the moment, so that's exciting. The baby collection.
We're very excited about that one.
So we're going to discuss more about the baby collection a little bit later in the call, but we've got that coming up.
First time we've had anything for babies, specifically for babies, which I think is brilliant. So yeah, I was very excited about that.
Does it like?
Keith was excited.
Do you think it stops ADHD in kids? Like,
I think it can.
So,
I think it can help prevent it. Yeah, getting rid of the chemicals.
Hopefully. And then the enrollment promotion this month. So does everyone get it? Does everyone understand how it works? So just briefly, how it works is you sign somebody up and they do 100 PV or more. Then the following, so that's this month in June. And then the following month, they go on to LRP and do another 100 PV. Then in August, they will receive 100 points. I hope everyone understands how good an offer this is. Okay, 100 points can get them so many oils. Okay, and they can choose whatever oils they want. So it's better than saying that you can buy a wintergreen and an on guard and you get a Salubel free or whatever, because it is, you can choose whatever you want. Okay, so hopefully you can get that across to customers, because sometimes it doesn't come across. The 100 PV, the 100 points doesn't come across as a great offer. It's one of the best offers. So hopefully you can get that across to your customers.
It's good to obviously tell them it's worth about £70 worth of free products, and maybe having a few ideas of showing them what they can get, like the lifelong vitality, for example. They can get a whole lifelong vitality for free. So that is brilliant, because that's a huge thing that obviously everyone can benefit from. But people often want to start with the oils, so you can say to them, well, look, if you enroll this month and then do 100 PV order next month, get your other oils that you want, or a lifelong vitality, you get another lifelong vitality free. But it's a good way for people to actually just try out the lifelong vitality as well. So I mean, there's lots of ways you can sell it, but it is a really good offer. I mean, I can't remember if we've ever had that one. I mean, we've done the
it's usually 50 PV you get.
It's usually 50 PV, so this is huge. So I think it's the lockdown kind of special. And
it's also encouraging people to buy the kit or buy 100 PV and then go on to LRP so they can start in good habits. Okay.
Yeah.
And someone's asked a question, is that 100 PV on top of the kit? Nope. It's just 100 PV, whatever you spend it on. So if that is a kit of 100 PV or more, it doesn't matter. It's just got to be 100 PV or more. Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's 10% off in Tune. Okay.
The Focus Blend. Talking about ADHD.
I need that.
Good for focusing.
So, wanted to congratulate our top enrollers, and we're going to hear from some of them tonight. So, congratulations to Kev and Alison for top enrollers.
Fab, 20 enrollments. That's 20. Incredible.
It's
It's
Kev's
amazing.
pointing to Alison.
It's amazing.
So that's why we only put Alison on there, Kevin. We didn't acknowledge you on that one. And they were also second top enroller last month as well for the team, which is incredible. Which is why
they're our special guests tonight.
So they will be speaking to us after this in a second. Congratulations to Lisa, to Kim, to Neil, all on the same team. So well done, guys. You guys are going crazy. And then Ali and Seb are going to be joining us later to chat to us about what they're doing for enrolling. And then Jan, Deborah and Alan, congratulations, guys, on being in top enrollers this month.
Amazing. All really great. No, that's amazing.
All in lockdown and can't really leave your house. So
exactly. It's incredible.
And then rank advancements to elite last month. Congratulations to Joyce, Denise, Ruth, Delaney, Rachel, Yana, Louise, Elzetta, Andy, Zaina, Georgiana, and Benoit. Congratulations, guys. And I'm sure I just butchered a couple of names there.
I think I'd have gone for Benoit, maybe. Maybe it's French.
Benoit.
No,
Benoit, it will be nice to meet you. And we'll meet you.
Yeah, we hope we pronounced it right between us.
Don't hate us.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on getting to elite, guys.
Yeah, rank advancements at the moment. That's very inspiring as well. And there's loads. That's brilliant.
And then Premier, we've got Deborah and Jan. So congratulations, guys, on hitting Premier.
Amazing.
Starting to build a structure there, so that's great. And we have another person, Gary, who has hit gold, but I only found out about an hour ago that he'd hit gold because it's not showing in the back office, so I haven't done a slide, so I'm really sorry, Gary. But I just wanted to congratulate you on hitting gold, mate. Well done.
That's amazing. Well done, Gary. Woo!
Well done, Gary.
Fantastic. So we should play with some more premiers too then. Maybe.
There might be some more premiers coming up as well.
So sorry we missed you as well for achieving Premier.
Yes. Okay.
Here we go. That's a nice picture. That's nice.
So we have
Facebook stalking, haven't you, to get that picture?
Yeah, I did actually.
It's good.
I did do that.
It's a lovely one.
Kevin and Alison Thomas are going to be chatting with us now. Kevin and Alison are gold, and they reached gold. It was this year, wasn't it, guys?
Last year. It was
last year.
Yeah.
11 months to gold. Yeah.
11 months to gold.
Amazing.
So,
we'll get the answer wrong. It's three children.
4.
Oh, I should definitely get that right. 4 lovely children. 4 lovely children. So lots of juggling going on, and I know Ali just texted me as well and said, can we go first because I've got to put my daughter to bed, and I totally get that. So juggling. Ours are not sleeping on the trampoline right now, so we totally understand. So that's what makes it even more inspiring, is that you're doing this in lockdown with all your lovely children around you. So thank you so much for coming on, both of you, and yes, please share some tips with us all. And
I also just wanted to make special mention to these guys, because they've got other challenges at home that they deal with all the time, and they're still managing to create an amazing business with this. And so
fast business, fast growing.
If you share that as well, because that's very inspiring, guys, what you're doing with,
some people might not know that.
Yeah, with your children, as well as building a business from home. So over to you. Thank you for sharing.
It's our pleasure. Thank you for inviting us on. So yeah, our children are a big inspiration of the whole reason we stepped into essential oils in the first place was actually Ellen. So our youngest one, the biggest need of all of our children health-wise. She's just like right there listening right now. But
Hi, Ellen.
The whole reason we stepped into essential oils and found doTERRA and everything began as it has was actually because of her serious illness she has and the level of medical intervention. So we were looking for alternatives to the meds for her body, and we were also looking to try and get rid of these really serious nightmares she was having every night, right from a baby. But it was only when she was about 2 that she began using words with her nightmares, and she'd say, "Doctor, stop it. Mummy, make them stop. No, naughty doctor, go away." And so we knew then that not only were the meds affecting her physically and limiting what she could do with her body and putting strain on her body, but also mentally. So we were looking at the time that we came across the oils really to help and support her. But actually, since then, they've just massively become a way of life for us all, really. So it's kind of gone full circle for us. So we began with just looking for Ellen and watching a class and linking with Peter and really sort of exploring the oils in how it could support her, to actually they are a way of life for us as a whole family. Even our older boys use them as alternatives now for, you know, in our medicine cabinet, there's no painkillers, there's no typical aspirin, there's no antiseptic creams, you know, we've completely changed to a natural way of life. So I think that links in quite well with the first thing I was going to say, actually, because Nathan and Rebecca asked us to really sort of share what it is that we're doing and how we're reaching out and what we're sharing. And my biggest thing would be live the oil life yourself. So come from authenticity when you share, make it part of everything that you do. So we were taught very early on the most important thing to do when we had our oils through was to play with them and use them and experience them and have stories about them, because that naturally then filters into any kind of sharing that you do. I think we've stepped even more into that probably in the last year, where green cleaning's become a massive focus for us, as well as all the medicinal side that we feel we've got our hands on and good with. I think the green cleaning became another thing that's very key in our house now, where there's no chemicals and things like that. So I think when we share and reach out, we very much come from the heart. And I think that's so, so important, and so much easier to share your classes online or live if you're definitely living that lifestyle yourself. You know, you're coming from your passion, your purpose, your authenticity. I think that's huge. You can't really teach that. You just have to live it. That would have been my first tip. So that's handy that sharing that story. But the other thing I think that we've needed to become really, really good at is focusing on the pockets of time we do have, not worrying about the bits that we don't, but always right from the beginning. When we started, I was still working full time. We had all 4 children, a very sick little one. I didn't have a lot of time. My initial reaching out on that journey to gold was really sort of lunchtime in the car at work before, so getting up an hour earlier before the household wakes up and going to bed later. You know, I didn't have a lot of time to fit it in. Now I'm blessed that because we were able to replace my income through our sharing, that I can be home. But for me, it was before lockdown and before all of that, it was very much being there for Ellen. So by replacing an income and having that passion and purpose, which is another tip I would definitely give you, what is your reason why? What are you prepared to sacrifice and why? And as soon as you find that in your heart and you figure that out, then everything else fits into place, because you'll do what it takes to get there. And that's what we needed to do. I needed to promise Ellen I could be at the school when the ambulance arrives. Her condition is so serious. We have a emergency line set up from her school that when it rings and it says emergency in the name of her school, we know she has seconds, maybe minutes if we're lucky, to fight for her life. And my work was 20 minutes away from her. So when that phone rang, one of the times I missed the ambulance, and we've always needed my income in the house. We've needed to be able to, you know, fund all of the children we have and our lifestyle. So actually my purpose was very clear, and my reason why I would do anything to achieve that. And we feel very blessed actually now that we feel more financially free around that. I was able to promise her when I resigned from work, I would always be there when the ambulance got to school. Do you know, I beat the paramedics now, and that's because we found the oils. It's incredible. I can't tell you what that feels like, even if nothing grew from here. So our reason why and your reason why is going to be the most important thing. So if you can do some goal setting exercises, if you're not quite sure what it is that's driving you yet, there's lots of things that I'm sure Nathan and Rebecca can guide you to, where you literally find your reason why and your purpose, and everything else follows. So that would be a big tip. But being time effective, I think really kicked into gear for us with homeschooling and lockdown, because I had the freedom briefly, having resigned from work and both the girls being able to be at school, to have the pleasure of working and focusing on the business for sort of 5 or 6 hours a day. Homeschooling is not like that at all. And there's 8 of us that live here. So there's my sons who are older with their girlfriends. There's the younger ones. We are a really busy household. We have to book a room to have a Zoom in, because to have that private space that's soundproof-ish and have somewhere private, we timetable. It's like a big spread thing on the wall. I can probably show you. Right, that's the days. We're all colour coded.
Oh, amazing.
To put your room in your
How we
house.
live. So that works for us, but do you know, it's made me super effective in the pockets of time I've got, because the only things that I consider the most key in the business, not the extras, are the inviting to classes, educating in the classes, enrolling from the classes, and giving the support to the gorgeous team that we have. That's the priority. And I think even though I have half the time, I'm finding that it's just as effective because it's making me prioritize. It's kind of, you know, looking at it, it can be a blessing when your time's more limited, because you can be super effective because you value that time so much. That would be something I'd recommend, like really prioritizing your time. And then in the classes, we were trying to think, you know, have we changed things during lockdown? What have we maybe introduced extra or focused on a little bit differently? Now, my practice has often been reaching out and sharing online. We do online, we do live classes as well, but my focus has always been being near Ellen. So we always were kind of focused in that way. But online doesn't mean you can't have live oils experiences in your class if you want to. You can send out little mini pots of wild orange and peppermint. You can share those while you're having that energy in the class. I've found what I've gone towards in my time effective focus has been running group classes for our own guests and our team members' guests. And then from the class, booking a 15-minute one-on-one. We do the big groups, we'll have 30, 40, 50 people on a class. And then from there, we use our time effectively with the people who want to step forward or want more information or want protocols and things like that on a one-on-one. That's the best use of my time. I haven't really got time in this window now to just lead with one-on-ones. So I've got to change my focus to group, but I'm finding that really time effective, and it's working just as well, I think, as the one-on-ones did, if not better, probably with how it's gone in the last few months.
So you just funnel all your leads into classes, from wherever you get them from, and your team funnel those people into your classes?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
With the one-on-ones afterwards, Ali, do you say it at the end of the class, or do you put them, and do you say contact you, or do you contact them?
Yes, well, contact me or the person that's invited them. So we share numbers. If they want to reach out to me, that's fine too. They just mention who's invited into the class so we can link together. So we might do a 2-on-1 in that situation. But yeah, being prepared to just give, 15, 20 minutes one-on-one afterwards, whether it's a business interest, an oils interest, a protocol interest, and then just having those tools sort of ready for them to see the education and training. Because I think as part of this overall group, where we are and doTERRA as a focus, the educational offering is something that really makes people feel confident. And so in the one-on-one, we very much show that educational offering and what's there on top of the protocol that we're going to work through, wherever we're focusing. So really time effective. I'm finding that really, really good. And
so, sorry, just to clarify, so you give them your telephone numbers at the end of the class? You put your telephone numbers on the screen, or just
in the group chat, and usually there's one of the team on there, at least one of them on there with guests, so they'll just pop it into the chat group, so people can contact directly. We encourage via WhatsApp, so it's free with whatever country, so they'll give the WhatsApp link. But yeah, so using that way, we're finding really good. And we also have we use an automated class booking system now, rather than needing to individually tell everybody the times of the classes available. We run quite a few classes a week. I personally run 6-7 classes a week. So we have a Calendly booking system, but there's lots of automated ones out there. So it just means people are empowered once you've had that connection to choose a time that works for them, and it comes through to you automatically. We still have a lot of conversation and relationship building before the class, but they've been able to choose a time that works for them already. So we're finding that effective as well with the time limit. Sorry, me clicking on there. And then what I wanted to say to people actually is, if they're a little bit afraid of the online way of sharing, one of the things I took confidence in with online sharing is that you can be prepared before the class and during the class with little prompt cards. So, for example, the very first class I ever ran, and I don't know if Shanine's on the call today, but beautiful Shanine in my group, very first class I ever ran, one-on-one, I had these little set of cards with me with some keywords on. So I would literally share the slide or whatever I wanted to share on the screen, and then I'd just go check when I'd finished with the card. So in case I lost my way, I find that a benefit of online sharing. So while I didn't have the confidence, I just had a few keywords so that if I lost my way, they were there and it would re-guide me. So I think online has advantages that way. And if they do want to meet one-on-one after a class, you can share the protocol. You know, you can prepare. They can go, oh, I really want to work on eczema, or I want to work on oils and skincare, or whatever it is. You can have that protocol ready. And it doesn't matter if you're kind of reading from a little prompt card, because you're there with that support. So I think actually it's less pressure than a live class. Once you get over the, am I okay with technology? It's actually less pressure in a way. So I quite enjoy that part of it. I think we've also switched a little bit of focus within our classes. So whilst we've shared online quite a bit, so there you go, there's the one. Although we've shared online quite a lot, I think during lockdown, I've really taken a focus in my classes with immunity, really focusing on immunity protection, working with all the aspects of the body and the lifestyle that focus on that. And I've also taken to sharing like a couple of recipes, so hand sanitizers, things like that, to really sort of go with the current climate and what people are thinking and worrying about or not being able to get hold of in the shops and things like that.
Yeah.
So I guess we've sort of changed a little bit of an emphasis and focus. Naked baby, sorry. But yeah, I think probably one of the biggest things that feeds back when we share classes has been the excitement and passion that come through in the class and people feeling the energy. And again, I think that comes from living the oils and using them and knowing how much they work. I think it comes from a passion and belief in sitting in alignment with such an incredible company, and how the work of the charity, just their mission, their cause, and really, you know, going to convention or watching convention and things like that gives you the heart of the company. And I think once you have those things inside you, people want to be on that journey with you because it's incredible. There's nothing else like it. And it's okay to feel like that. It's okay to be excited and passionate about something. And sometimes people have to release that, I think, in themselves. Maybe jobs squash that out a little bit, or career paths you've been on before. So it's allowing yourself to step into that and feel okay with that. And then feel super proud of the incredible people that come forward as part of your group. I mean, it wasn't about what we've done really in the last couple of months. Our team have stepped forward so much more than us in that way. You know, the team, was it like 71 people or something, which was just amazing last month. So they really stepped in and they're growing, and that inspires me more than anything else.
Yeah,
what they're doing and achieving. So I do love our oily tribe. I was saying to them earlier, I'm just going to get emotional when I talk about it, so I won't say it too much. Amazing. And making a difference every day is the best thing you can do. I think so. It's all in, it just sits fantastically with us. So we feel just so blessed to have found it, really. But yeah, there's a few things we've tweaked, but mostly we just love what we do.
That's amazing.
Thank you for sharing.
So inspiring. I have a couple of questions before we move on. Is that all right? Just really quick. I know you need to go, Ali. Sorry.
No, we're fine. She's here now.
Okay. Thanks for joining us, Ellen. First of all, so inspiring, Ali. Just loved everything you said. You know, prioritizing your time. That's obviously really key. Being genuinely you, and that is so true. Like, people do buy these oils, but they are trusting you. Like, literally, you as the messenger. They're having to trust at the beginning, and if they feel like it's a sales pitch, they'll sense that. Whereas if you're genuinely showing, you can't help but just to ooze the passion. I can hear it from you. It's so genuine. It's not forced. It just flows. And so I can totally see why, you know, you're successful and what your people who come to your classes are feeling. So that's fab. We had a question, where do your leads come from? And I'm guessing it's a build up. And do you sample? So if you can answer that. And also, you said you warm up each person that comes to a class. Just briefly, how do you do that? Do you sample? Do you chat to them? Those two questions.
Okay. So we reach out and chat, usually via WhatsApp if possible, because then it can be in any country and it's not costing them to be responding and things like that. Usually via WhatsApp. Not usually sampling before a class anymore, although at the beginning of our journey we did a lot of that. Just really getting people interested, sending a little goodie bag with wild orange and peppermint along with their sample of whatever the ailment was we were going to work with, so that they could then have that excitement of opening the goodie bag on class.
Mm-hmm.
We were brand new. That was really effective for us. I think now, probably with the confidence we have with the oils and the way we share within the class, I feel like most of the time they won't need the samples, and I know how well the oils work, so I know that when they get them, they're going to be super happy.
Yeah.
But people do want samples following a class and they've made the commitment to the class, then yeah, absolutely, we can send those out, and we have the little pots and send them that way.
Okay. And then do you keep in contact with them then? So if you sample them after a class, you'd then do a follow-up, I guess.
Oh, massively, yes, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, so reaching out before, do you know, I find Source to You as a site really good. And if we're making a connection before a class and people want to know a little bit more or get a feel for our ethics, who we are, our sourcing, then sharing the Source to You link before the class, like the day before, a couple of days before, I find really effective. I think it promotes the ethics of the company really well. So I use that quite a lot before a class.
That's a good tip.
You know, try and get a feel for if there's anything particular they're looking for in the class. So I make sure that I'm going to address those needs, and they've got some ownership of the class and they're interested to come because they know we're going to cover those, which is always covered in the 10 core oils anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, but getting a rapport before the class massively increases attendance. Yeah.
Cool, thank you. And then just how do you get your leads? Where do they come from?
A range of different, so through Facebook, Instagram, boosting posts. What else do? We do targeted advertising on Facebook. Our upline, so Neil, he runs a group pool, so we invest in that as well.
Yeah.
Quite a few different ways actually. I find I like to have quite a mix, so as we'd say, like a few rods in the pond effectively, so just mixing and getting a feel for where people are coming from and what their interests are. And I think at the moment there's a lot of interest in online education because people are at home, or there definitely has been over the last few months.
Yeah.
People are more happy with that forum because they've been using it for all kinds of things, to hold down their job, to learn at school or uni, you know, there's a lot of that. So I think people are very more comfortable with that than perhaps they were.
Yeah.
I think, you know, leading with that education side is great as well.
That's fantastic. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Ali. We'll let you go.
You're
Well, I also just want to say, congratulations on getting your second level Power 3, guys.
Yay, thank you. That was your training. Yeah. We're like, yes, we can do those things and tweak those things. So brilliant. Thank you.
Amazing.
Number 3 now.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, so for those of you that also I put on the group today, but I'll be running another one next week for those of you that want to come and learn tips on how to get your second level or third level or even first level Power 3 to help you with that. So thanks guys, really appreciate
that's really
no, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah,
inspiring. 20 in lockdown. Wow.
Yeah, it's very inspiring. And just to follow on from that, Ali mentioned the website Source to You. Just in case some of you are brand new tonight and might not know that website, I love it as well. It's a really good site, so go and have a look at it yourself, explore it yourself so you know what's on there. But it's one of doTERRA's main sites. It's reasonably recent. It's, I think, 2 years maybe. But it basically shows you all the testing, you know, all about the kind of growers, the co-impact sourcing. So it is a really good, it's a great one to share. So go and explore it yourself.
Yeah. I don't have a date yet, Jay. I just decided today to do one. So I've got to book a date in, but I'll let you know. All right. So our next special guest
is all the way from Italy. Adele.
Are you there, Adele?
Adele has been with us on this journey for a few years. We've got to know Adele.
Feels like day one.
Yeah, we feel like we've been with partners with Adele since day one almost. But she's very much been a part of our journey in doTERRA. We went out to Milan last year, wasn't it, to spend some time with Adele, and she just gets people. I don't know how quite sure. She's going to tell us hopefully, but she can round people up so quickly and so easily, and she has lots of people following her all the time, it seems, and
Adele, I think the second or third year into our business, Adele every single month was the top enroller, but not just in our team, in the whole of Europe.
Yeah.
Okay, so she was in the top 5 or 6 every single month for that whole year, and even more than that. And the last couple of months, she's been enrolled. And like last month, I know it was over 30. I looked this morning, but it was over 30. So, yeah, just wanted to hear from a master enroller.
Adela, I can hear you. Where are you?
I have spent my lockdown in the mountains because I was here for 1 week skiing with my husband and my son, and when they closed everything. So I spent my last 3 months in the Dolomites, which is amazing. And I normally live in Milan, so it was good for me because here I could go a little bit outside and I had some space. I could hide in the woods sometimes, so it was great. And thinking about our journey together, I was a little bit like you, so I was spending my time doing wellness consultation and classes, peeling carrots and potatoes, because we are.
You remember that video, do you, Adele? The potato video.
I remember the video, but I literally was cooking because we were
video,
5 of us.
Don't Google it.
We are 5 of us, and my daughter, she's vegetarian, so I had to clean vegetables all of my days. And I bought some earphone, so I had my hands free to cook, and I was spending most of the time, like Ellie, she was saying, I was doing in the end 1-to-1 20 minutes. And so most of my leads were coming from Instagram, and sometimes they just wanted to buy like lemon essential oil or grapefruit essential oils, or I heard Zenjust, it's great, or what did you use? Because I was posting a lot of personal video, me using the oils, which is a good thing when it's personal rather than just show a product, just the picture of the product. And I was doing now you can do like a 10 minutes video, so I was posting internal use, aromatic use, top 10 oils, and then little by little people show up and started to ask for information. Again, they had a lot of time to watch this video. And then also because I'm a yoga teacher, I was giving yoga lesson for free on my story every afternoon, every other day. I was giving a 1-hour lesson, and so there were a lot of people watching this lesson and taking part, and started to create the bond with me. So they always write to ask for information or a protocol, or what can I do for this? I'm breastfeeding, can I use the oil? And I was just giving my phone number, say, if you want to know, it's better if we talk. And so I was spending like 15-20 minutes giving like a short lesson on the kit, on the family kit, mainly pushing that. Then when this month there was the Salubel offer, I managed to sell a few home kits. Last month there was the 50 PV promotion. So when it was the end, it was in March and half of April. So I maybe some contacts didn't buy in the end. So I wrote to them, there is just last chance, last day for you to buy if you want to have a 50 PV promotion. And so I use a lot of the thing we have done normally in person in classes. I would have never thought that it would be so easy to sell oils and to enroll people without even them smelling or trying the products. I was really astonished to see that there was it was so easy. I mean, I wouldn't believe that without trying the product, they just trust me, and they say, okay, if you tell me Intune is good for my daughter, I will get it. And it's incredible the way, because, as Ali, she said before, if you are genuine, they perceive that. So they didn't, even if I am a top seller, they never perceive that like me pushing. They always tell me, oh, thank you so much. And few of them, they ask me to become, they say, I would like to do the business part as well. I did a few Zoom call. I didn't do a lot. I did like a couple of Zoom, one on the top 10 oils and one on the emotional oils. That's it in a couple of months. And then I have to say, because I had so many clients from my previous years, some of them, they gave my number to friends because they couldn't sleep, because they had a lot of anxiety, they were worried, and so I got some clients from how do you say, word of mouth.
Yes.
Yeah, from people started to share with others, oh, you should call Adele, you should follow her. But mainly my leads were from Instagram, and people, they always write to me, say, oh, I like your page, I've been following you for a while. I had invested a little bit. Instead of paying advertising, I have given free oils to an important influencer. I mean, we met in Milan a few months ago, and I gifted her a kit, and I gifted Salubel. So she started to use the oils. She loved them. And so she started to make like small stories. She invited me to a radio show. So I was on a national radio. Yes.
Wow.
And then sometimes she's like, she prepares aromatic water and with lemon, and she said, if you want to know, just ask Diana Oils. That's my Instagram. And so that was a big help. So I gift her more oils, and she made new stories. And then I didn't know, but the people who bought from me, few of them like had many followers, and whenever they got the oils, they were like, oh, thank you, Diana Oils, I got my kit, finally my kit is here, my oils are here. So it was like one after the other. And I never use Facebook, and mainly I use Instagram. Okay. But the personal touch is always what is working.
Absolutely. Fantastic, Adele. I
Amazing,
love that.
very inspiring.
So inspiring. You've always inspired me with how you just find people and enroll people continuously. And that's the key to this business. If you can keep finding people, then your business will continue to grow. And
yeah.
So amazing what you're doing and creating all the time.
And you've adapted, haven't you?
Yeah.
Because you used to do a lot of live stuff, didn't you?
Yes.
So you've adapted this and refined it.
But I like what you said about using Instagram and not going on Facebook, because I know there's quite a few people I know personally, and I'm one of them, that have blocks with Facebook. So it's not always everyone's avenue to go down. So Instagram can sometimes, some people can prefer that route, can't they? And then
Facebook own Instagram.
Yeah, but it's a different method. Yeah. All right, thanks. But the personal touch, I liked what you said about that again, and same with Ali. Both of you are using your personal touch. You don't just rely online. The real thing is then when you connect, and again, you're so genuine that just oozes out of you, and that's when they have the trust. And like you're saying, so easily they do what you say because they feel that you've got their interest at the center of what you're saying.
Yeah. Let's say when my first contact in the message, when they asked me like, can I buy a grapefruit?
Yes.
And it's a nightmare when they just ask for one oil, because there is the fee, there is the delivery charges, so there's no point. So at the beginning I was like, oh, if you want to buy one oil, this is the price, and I never heard about them anymore. So I started to say, how can I help you? Let me know. This is my number. And I normally suggest people to start with the kit. I know it's a little bit maybe over what you wanted to spend, but it's a good opportunity to start, and you have a free consultation with me. And so you can have a chat before or after. if you want to send me your details, you can pay with the bank wire, bank transfer, and or you can phone me. So that was the engagement as well. So I always ask how I could help them and give my number. And I had people from New York, from Hong Kong. It was a nightmare to enroll someone from Hong Kong as well.
Wow. That's cool that you addressed that question, because we do often get that question. You know, people do say they just want to buy one oil. So that was a really good answer Dele gave there, of how you can then use that to not feel like they're being, again, sold to, but again, putting their best interests, but just educating again, because they don't know this kids. They don't know that. So you've got to educate them. And so that's fab, Adele. And the other thing you said I thought was fab, I mean, not everything, but the thing that really stood out was, you know, you contact them again at the end of the month, let's say. So some people might not order, and that happens to all of us, but don't forget about them, huh? That's when you recontact them and you keep them in your mind. And
yeah, of course. Yeah. And also now when I make my stories, also what I did, I started, instead of posting just about one oil, I started to post more pictures on family kits, home essential kit, emotional kit. So they started to perceive it was like talking to them, you know, guiding them through the education. And so they started to ask, oh, what is this kit? And I was posting myself in the bathroom with Salubel or Yarrow Palm. And I remember my husband was watching my story, was like, what? No, you in our bathroom. Oh, I can't believe
oh, brilliant.
And my kids were like, Daddy, Mommy is a big influencer. Stop it.
You're like, yes.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And I was selling the story now, you know, because we are really in a very small apartment. So I was saying, oh, and my daughter, she used this, and my son, he used that. And they were like, I heard you were talking about me.
That's brilliant. It's real.
There was no privacy. There was
oh, it's fab. Thank you so much, Adele, for coming on.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Adele. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
So
yeah,
thank
it's
you.
late for you. Yeah, thank you.
Really
Thank you.
Okay, our next guest.
Yes.
Last guest.
Our next guest.
Dun.
I've done a slide for you.
Yeah, we're not going to tell you till we've got the slide up, because Nathan will spend time doing the slide.
I worked hard on it. You know.
Here we go. Build up. Woo, hear that? I think I just heard them in the background. Don't speak yet.
There they are.
Hey! The lovely Ali and Seb.
This was the least glamorous photo I could find.
Not right now. We're like lockdown kind of ready.
I hope you've got greasy hair, Ali.
Yeah,
For once.
I was trying to find a really bad photo of you guys, and I found it.
That's shocking. I'd be embarrassed at that. Oh my goodness. Lovely couple. I don't know if you've heard from Ali and Seb before. They've been doing doTERRA now for 3 years?
2 years building.
2 years building.
2 and a bit years in January, yeah. So, yeah. And yeah, we hit 3rd level of Power of 3 this month as well. So that's
3rd level.
That's amazing.
Oh,
And
amazing.
it's gold.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
which, after watching your training and everything, I highly recommend it to people. It's really like a big difference.
Yeah. Nothing to me either. That was all Ali and strategy.
Yeah. We always thought Seb was going to be like the strategist when we started, and I've like really got into it, and I'm like a proper like number cruncher, got notebooks. I'm like, yes, all that maths paid off finally. So yeah,
I find it really fun. It's fun.
yeah, I do. Yeah, a bit stressful last minute, but then I'm like, sense of achievement.
Last day of the month, yesterday. Woo.
Last day, yeah. We've got to leave it till last, don't you? Because you never know what orders will come
exactly. You have to.
So?
You've got no choice.
So true.
Well, these guys are amazing. You'll tell us since they start speaking. Incredible people, very dynamic, great influencers. Yeah, just growing so fast.
And they've been in the top enrollers again for the last 6 months, very consistent, maybe a year, I think, very consistent.
Yeah.
And so we just wanted you to share because you're very inspiring, guys.
Yes.
So
Oh.
Thank you.
You've got to be inspiring now. No pressure.
I know, I was thinking what you were going to say.
Fire us, we'll relax.
So we probably have different points. So maybe you start off with what you think's key, and then I'll go into mine.
So yeah, I guess to start with, for me, I'm a biological dentist or holistic dentistry, whatever you want to call it. So for me, what I love about doTERRA is providing an alternative solution for someone that's gone down avenues and, you know, it's just failed. And unfortunately, in this day and age, it's coming to that point where, you know, that is the last thing they turn to. That we're trying to break that trend, right, in the UK, but it is. And for me, having this whole toolkit of solutions to provide someone, to provide support with them, to provide just a lifeline for a lot of these people that we come into contact with is just so inspiring. And for me, it's all around how I can support them and their families and just going and just changing things, like a lot of the people that have talked about tonight, because, you know, we're told one thing a lot of the time in society. Our biggest saying is, you don't know what you don't know. And that's the thing that we always get across to everyone we speak to. Because, you know, we've only got our own reference point, and without seeing something different, we're never going to go beyond that reference point that we have. So I love it. I love that you can just inspire people and without trying to be pushy and salesy like we've heard. You know, it's just say, try it. You know, it's a plant. It might heal you, and it's definitely not going to hurt you. So give it a go, right? At the end of the day, what have you got to lose? I always say that, and I love it.
And then for me, I've found doTERRA far much more of a personal development thing than I ever expected. And I hated anything salesy. I didn't even like saying the prices at the end of the class. Seb would always have to say that bit. I'd scurry off to the toilet, start packing up. And the way I got over that was, first of all, it was when someone said to me, oh, I'm so glad I've listened to you and I bought the oils in the class. Otherwise, this wouldn't have happened, this wouldn't have happened, this wouldn't have happened to my husband, this wouldn't have happened to my kids. And I thought, oh my goodness, I could have potentially really given that family, all those people, a disservice just because of my own issues to do with money. So I looked at the end of a class, I was like, right, if I was in that class, how would I really like to hear that? What would make me feel I'm not being sold to and this person's actually doing me a favour? I changed the end of the class and I said, right, I'm going to do it tonight. And we had like 6-7 sign-ups out of 8 attendees.
That's when we started taking off. It was nothing to do with me.
No, it wasn't. No, but what it was the internal shift of suddenly realising that my own internal beliefs were potentially having a knock-on effect that I didn't even know because of everything. And then I just started working out like, okay, this really is about sharing something and passing that information on. Like, I'm just a conduit, I'm just the information passer. And by me not doing it, it doesn't really affect me. It's all those people I'm potentially rippling out to. So that was a big lesson. And then the more we kind of worked with people and the more support we gave people, that for me is when we really started taking off. When I can hand on heart know that when someone buys a kit, they're not just buying oils, they're buying the commitment from Seb and I and our team and the support. It really doesn't feel like sales, and it really doesn't feel like, I don't know how to explain it. It just becomes so much more than that, because the shifts that they make, and we focus so much, and that's what we've probably been focusing more on in the past couple of months, is the support. So we really talk about, you know, when you get your oils, whenever you're ready, you get a getting started call. We're going to put together a protocol for the next 4 to 6 weeks. And I think if internally you can feel in your body that when it's right for that person, they will commit and they'll come back, and they do. Like, I didn't buy my kit until 5 months after my class. I just woke up one day and I bought the oils because I knew. So I always sit with that, and I always tell myself that, and I just think, okay, well, if that's me, I let go of the outcome, I know that when that person's ready, they're going to get all that support. And it just makes it so much easier and so much more fun, because you take that pressure off yourself. And then you're also getting yourself out of your own way by having all these little internal things, because you never know. And even though you think, oh my goodness, that was a really bad class, you don't know how that's inspiring someone else, because someone else might watch it and think, oh, well, I could do that. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, like the other day we had one person, brand new person, book on, and one person who's already got the oils, who's thinking about doing sharing, and she's been on the fence for about 4 months.
Wow.
And she turned up on Friday, and I couldn't get my sentence out. Like, I really didn't know what was wrong with me. Seb was literally like laughing, like, I've never heard you teach a class like that. And I just thought, okay, well, I'm just trusting what's going on. Like, I can't get my sentences out. It's only this girl who's already got the oils. And she turned up because she says, no, I want to learn more. And I was like, well, I can't even string a sentence together. So I don't know how I'm supposed to teach you more than a normal class. And at the end, she went, do you know what? I'm going to push the boat out. I'm going to get a class together. Can we do an online class together? And I was like, okay, that is why I was supposed to teach such a bad class. Yeah. She was able to just say,
I can do this.
A bad class. And it's just trusting it. It's just completely trusting whatever the universe throws at you.
It really is.
And the belief, the internal belief, they're probably my two biggest things.
And always show up, because even if you're like, oh, you know, only 2 people have messaged you back today.
Yeah.
Should we do it? And there's something inside you saying, oh, my ego's going to get in the way. I shouldn't go. I shouldn't do it. But then have no idea what that person's going to do that turns up, buys a kit 6 months, a year down the line. And then you're just like, always show up and always do yourself and other people a service, which is just so much fun. And also it's fun. You get so much of a buzz when you're teaching. At the end of it, I'm like, I go into a class if it's at the end of the day and I think, oh, I'm absolutely knackered. I don't know how I'm going to teach. Or we'll have argued on the way to the class, or something will have gone wrong. They'll be like, how are we going to inspire anyone? And then you get there and you're like, right, let's do it. And then it just gives you so much energy, doesn't it? And then you come out the way of it and you get home, you're like, it's like 10 o'clock at night and we're like, I'm not going to be able to sleep now.
No,
it's so pumped. But yeah, it's so much.
And then some tips that I wrote down for lockdown is about utilising other people's networks.
Yeah.
So we're finding that some people who have probably never even thought about sharing before or never even thought about building, they've all got their own little networks anyway. So we've just been saying, you know, if you want to do something for a bit of a social, get together a few friends that you think might be interested in the oils, don't worry, all you have to do is introduce us. And then if they get the oils, we then just give them, they have the option where they can have what they've earned back in oils, and we just use points or whatever. Or it then brings up the conversation of, oh, did you know that you could upgrade your account and actually earn money? And we're finding that that's working quite well, because there's a lot of noise everywhere at the minute, but when you're utilising someone's network, they've got that touch, because they're not just sharing it on Facebook, they're texting their friends and getting a few friends together as well. Yeah.
So are they're existing customers, or just people that you've met along the way, maybe not even customers?
Even people that don't buy monthly, which is interesting. So even people, I'm quite religious with all of my like my lists and my MailChimp lists, and I have people on different segments that have got different things. So we always keep in touch with everyone, no matter how much they do or not. And Ali's the marketer and does all the fancy designs and sexy looking stuff. And she just posts these things out, and we really swear by our WhatsApp support group. It's got nearly 200 people in it from all of our customers, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
We just tell people to mute it. But we find that the social selling within that WhatsApp support group is just gets people on. Like, for example, just to let you, like, end of last year, we decided to do a cleanse and restore with everyone. And it wasn't even us that posted it. Someone says, oh, I've been thinking about doing a cleanse and restore. Can I do it? What should I do? X, Y, and Z. And we said, oh, why don't we all do it? And we ended up getting like 20 people on cleanse and restore. And that was actually our gold advancement month, I think. So, and that was really not through enrollments. It was through utilizing our own LRP volumes. So it's social selling is a huge part of that for sure.
And yeah, the other thing I've got written down is reinvesting oils. So treating it like a business, I could quite easily spend all my money and all my points on oils, and for myself.
Have you not done that though?
I know, for myself, but just really being serious. Just really being serious about it. So like last month we had to do a little bit of buy-in to hit. Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. But just being really like so like using that to buy, like thinking ahead, like what can I do next month, right? There's probably not going to be a 200 PV promotion. So for the athletes kit, with it being Father's Day, and we're doing, if anyone spends 150 PV, so just a little uplift from the 125, they'll get, they screenshot it to us and then they get entered into a raffle. And we've already had like 5-6 people do that today. So it's like,
oh, wow.
Just investing.
Yeah.
And then we do like, when it was BOGO bingo. So if they buy all 3 BOGOs, they get a mystery oil. And then whatever I've just got in a cupboard spare, I'll just send it out. And I always
you
treat,
enjoy it though.
Yeah, I always treat wonderful customers how I would love to be treated.
Nice. Perfect.
So I love stuff like that. Like growing up, I loved a goodie bag.
And a scratch card.
And a scratch card. So I always do stuff like that. So yeah. So just treating people how I want to be treated. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Ali. How soon on in your business did you start your WhatsApp customer group?
Straight away, I think. There was like 5 people in it, and we were like, woo!
And then lots of
yeah,
including our mums.
Yeah,
and
our mums.
But it's really, really good, and it's a lot to manage, and you're constantly on your phone, which is hard. So now we've put curfews in place, so we don't look at our phone past 8 o'clock at night unless it's for the emergency list. Or I mean, I'm really bad. I'm honestly on it, like, quick, they need help. But no, it's just proved dividends really for everything we've done. And people love it. And then you get people that go in and leave straight away, but the majority, and I think we're attracting people in 20s now, which is interesting, because a lot of your friends that are looking at the beginning think, oh, what's going on here? And we're getting a lot more younger people involved, which is quite exciting. They love, obviously, WhatsApp and social media and connection. So it's working really well for them. And but mute it. You can't do it unmuted.
Yeah, we definitely tell people to mute it as well, because otherwise people
ping. Yeah.
But people can choose what you're offering. Is a choice, isn't it? So that's
exactly.
I love what you're saying there. Loads of stuff again. Getting out of the way of yourself. That's huge, and I think we all have that to some degree. And the whole personal development thing.
I know.
So true, but about just focusing on serving others, I love that what you said, and it is, then you get buzz and excitement. It's fab. Thank you so much, guys. We're gonna
thanks for having us.
You guys really, someone did ask a question. What do you say at the end of a class, Ali? And I know it might be putting you on the spot, and I know that's horrible.
She's got it now. She's got it.
I've got it.
No,
so
not even bothered about it.
I'm clear and honest. And I say, so you've got 2 options to buy a kit. I could probably say this in my sleep because I was so nervous about it. I was like, I have to find a decent way of saying it. So I say, so you can buy the oils individually, and they vary. The price varies depending on how easy they are to source, where they come from. So I say lemon is your cheapest oil, and it's roughly £12 a bottle. And frankincense is your most expensive, and it's roughly £70 a bottle. So then they've already got an idea in the head of the cheapest and the most expensive. And then I say, so you can buy them as a kit, which has got even better savings. You can get in 2 sizes. The first size is this size, 85 drops or more if you're making rollerballs up. And it works out about £12 a bottle. So they're already thinking, oh, wow, the lemon was 12 and the frankincense. Or for double the money, you get 3 times the amount of oils, and it works out £24 a bottle. And I say the total amount of the kit. And since I've shifted that, I think our sales have gone up loads. And I don't know whether that's just because I'm more comfortable and the energy I'm giving out. But I think people can then say it in their head as well a bit better. And I always show images now on the screen so they can see the comparisons as well.
that would help too.
I think it's a combination, what you're saying there. You know, it's being really clear. People need to have a clear way of explaining it so they're not lost. Because otherwise, if it's too complicated, they'll just go for one oil or something.
Yeah.
But it's also the way you deliver, and if you own it and you're confident, you're not embarrassed or ashamed, you're like, you know, this is fantastic. It's going to change your life. It's your lifestyle. It's
Because before I was just going, well, you can buy this kit, which is 122. Oh, this one, which is 239. Okay, right. So, and it was just losing people. So yeah, I say it like that, and I feel really comfortable. It's easy to remember.
Yeah.
And
it's fantastic. It's brilliant. Thank you both. Thank you, Seb, as well, for sharing as well. Fantastic.
Yeah, appreciate that,
Wonderful
guys.
couple.
It was inspiring. Very inspiring. Thank you.
Okay. Adele was asking again, what time next week? Don't know. We'll let you know.
Yeah, I will let you know this week.
Okay. It's 9:36. I think it's been a brilliant call.
I think we just end it.
I think we end it now. We don't want to overload you guys. We could do a live on our Facebook or something, couldn't we?
We could do a quick live on the other stuff.
Yeah, it's just convention highlights, and we were so excited about the European convention, the webvention. We hope you guys were too. There were some amazing bits, some not so good bits as well. You know, there always is.
Everyone's watched it all though, right? You all watched it all, didn't you?
But everyone here,
every single bit, right?
To every single minute. And you've all taken notes, so you know everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And we wanted to just share some things I thought were just really incredible stuff, and we just had some things we wanted to highlight. But we're going to do it on Facebook Live on Silver Blossom, so you can watch that in your own time. Because I think tonight it's just been incredible. What's been shared has been amazing, and I don't think we need to add or anything to that. So thank you.
And there will be a post-convention kit.
Yes.
So just so you're aware, and it's going to have some of the stuff that's in the convention kit. I don't know about all of it. I don't know what the price is. Well, the baby products, you'd have seen it out already, so that's fab. And then the rest of them are coming out in July. So we don't have to wait very long at all. Very excited about Adaptive. I've been putting that on since the American convention, and I love it. So really recommend getting that. I mean, they're all wonderful. So we'll do a Facebook Live. So you can catch that, but yeah, you can get the products really soon. So don't worry if you missed out on the kit. And also the Cork or Island distribution centre warehouse. Exciting. That's going to be opening up very, very soon. I mean, that is amazing. And so what that gives the opportunity for is the oils to be, us to have exclusivity to some oils. It brings oils into Europe and we don't have to wait from them. Like if we had the warehouse right now, in this lockdown period, we wouldn't even have to wait like 2 weeks. The products wouldn't go out of stock. Okay. So it's amazing what the opportunity means for us. It means kind of we're like Europe centric. It's great. Yeah. So and saving the environment as well, because a lot of oils are produced in Europe. So we're saving on shipping basically. We're not sending them to America, then shipping back. So you know, ridiculous. Yeah, it does. So doTERRA are becoming more and more aware and trying to be more sustainable. Saving the environment, that's all part of their ethos as well, which I love. And then one last thing is the partnership in the UK. I mean, that was exciting. Did you catch that? There's going to be they haven't said which hospital they're working with, but there's a huge hospital. They said it's a huge hospital in London. There's a few hospitals that come to mind, but they didn't disclose what the name of the hospital was, but they're working very closely with a hospital in the UK and another research centre in the UK. But there were also a couple of hospitals in Italy as well. So Dele, that's exciting. And anyone in Italy, there was some in Hungary, I think Romania as well. But we'll share this all on our live. But they really stood out to me because, we've been hearing so much about the partnerships in America, which is fab. It's all great. But how nice to be able to say to people, look, doTERRA are in this hospital. That is just going to help with our sharing. So I was very excited about that. Yeah, it's really exciting. And there were a couple of points, but we need to stop talking. We do need to stop talking. We'll do it on our live, but thank you so much. Ali and Kev, Adele, Ali and Seb, amazing stuff tonight. Thank you. Yeah, that was amazing, guys. Really appreciate that. It was inspiring. I need to get to work. I need to create Instagram.
We need to find out why.
Yeah,
We need
just
to find out why.
again, yeah.
No, thank you so much, guys, and have a lovely month. And we look forward to seeing you next month.
Yeah. See you, everyone.
Goodbye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.